Hey, well, hello everybody. Marcus Chenlo here. It is literally like 2:30 a.m. in the engine, and I can't sleep, which is quite typical. So I'm going to talk, and this video is probably going to be most useful to those people who are interested in the process of thought experiments and just musing about certain things and the most essential concepts and thinking about life. So in tonight's agenda, I firstly thought of where my experiences, my memories from the past have been significant, have the greatest significance to me in practical terms. And interestingly, I don't think that memories are very important except for a couple of reasons. One is that they bring up emotions that you may have forgotten otherwise, and imaginings and wisdoms, right? And nostalgia is like aching. It's like a happy, bittersweet kind of aching for the past, which you can never get back. It's like something unobtainable and yet something that you've experienced and did have at one stage. But I think if you ask about the practicality of those things, there is some limit to that. It's like, why do we care? Why aren't we how are we going to utilize those memories to enact something more significant into the future? I don't know. Because the people in those memories are no longer associated to me. And, you know, so my mum, my dad, my brother, friends at school, Cameron Grammar School, who cares? Like, they've forgotten about me. So is there any ongoing incentive or association there? I don't know. Because once you leave someone, the idea of leaving them is like a propensity. So you know that you are able to leave them and you are no longer one with them. It's like they're an optional thing. They are an accessory to what you experienced. And so they're not really important. However, concepts are important, right? So what's the concept that I gained from my happiest experiences? So I've tried to determine what particular trait, right, has allowed me to keep going and feel satisfaction with life. So I watch a lot of TEDx talks, right? And some of the answers that speakers have provided include grit, agency, and my own words, curiosity and savvy. Now, I thought about those four words, and the one that I find most accurate is savvy, because and the reason for that is, when I think of the word savvy, it lights up my entire brain, and that's kind of an indication to me that there's something really special about that word that's not in the other ones, and that's a really big clue. I do wonder whether any of those four words would have a different effect on somebody else's mind, and whether they would choose a different word to me. But of those four, grit, agency, curiosity, and savvy, I chose savvy to be the most effective for lighting up my entire brain. So what do you think? Okay, so that got me into the mode of thinking about the whole brain experience, right? Now, there are some articles that have suggested that music and playing music is a rare kind of whole brain experience, right? And I was thinking of how I could experience whole brain experiences more and get more of these types of experience. So I think whole brain and happiness experiences have a probably almost synonymous, because when you experience your whole brain, it's like you have great not only functionality but kind of the emotional openness and facility to welcome that happy emotion into your psyche, right? So interestingly, one of the things that is inhibiting me from experiencing more whole brain experiences is my period of trauma back in 92 and onwards, right? So I feel that there's a lot of emotional absence from those years and imperfect environments and social settings. And I've also grown older, which doesn't affect me too much. I don't think it's a problem at the moment. Also, my obesity, right? So my metabolism is subject to the feelings of my physiology, and I call this bothered proprioception. So we're supposed to have like 20 plus different forms of sense, right? So one of these is proprioception, which I use to cover generically probably a few of those senses because I'm not technically expert on those different types of senses. Bothered proprioception is like you have an inkling that you're not complete because of your terrible negative experiences. It could be abuse, neglect, and trauma, right? Yeah, so in regards to my previous video on YouTube, which was about, some Kunstwerk or total work of art, I'm thinking about that in relation to the whole brain experience because some Kunstwerk is supposed to very much facilitate a whole brain experience. And if it doesn't, it's probably not working properly. Now, finally, in my agenda tonight, I thought of the women, I don't like the word women, but the women who have been associated in sexual or intimate ways with me in the last few years. Now, I'm a virgin, right? And I'm still observant of these women, right? And I think the common attribute of all of these women is that they're looking for significance. This is a really important idea. So they're inspired by me, they have a sexual preference for me, and all of them are looking for not status per se, and not, I don't know, maybe not even the sexual experience itself. What really motivates them is significance. And I think one of the reasons for that is that everyday life, normality in everyday life is so mundane for the average person that obviously sex is like this fun thing. But to find significance is very rare. And I sort of have that vibe maybe. And if you can bring an idea, like a concept, an abstract idea to life, you are not just an artist, you are not just a mystic, you are one of those inspiring influencer, supporter, master of humanity, I don't know, animality, which is beyond the scope of so many others who are involved with money or profiteering or just being bloody selfish. Yeah, I think that women can be very much attracted to money and to wealth, and I think these types of relationships are rather superficial and may well lead to instabilities in the relationship. So yeah, there are some of my thoughts for tonight. Now I have to try and render this, many of these concepts into a very amenable and enticing Facebook post, right? So one of my jobs as a content creator is to render the abstract into something which is palatable for most of my audience. And that's hard because when I failed for many years at that, because it's hard for me to do something which is just easily explained and breezily explained and not too complicated and not too bigoted and nerdy, you know. So anyway, if you want some really interesting thinking and speculation and just deep thought about something, think about your whole brain experiences tonight or tomorrow or whatever. Think about those most holistic whole brain experiences that you've ever experienced and try to qualify them and find more instances of them and understand how they came about. So That would be very interesting, I think. And I'm still thinking about these things. So, yeah. Bye for now.